Hey there, XLs. Back again with another update video on the Wardloop Saboteur. So this is day 2. I've made a few upgrades and I'm still doing a lot of experimenting. So I'm level 94 now. I'm still only using clockwork and then the boot recovery rate. So I'm at the third breakpoint, I believe. Um, my tree hasn't changed too much. I filled out some crit nodes, I believe. And in terms of skills, right now I'm using Creeping Frost and Eye of Winter in my weapon, and then Ice Spear in my main damage links. I was able to craft this helmet. I don't know. I bought a cheap enchant, slammed it with some dense fossils. Actually, seems like a pretty great way to craft ward gear is just dense fossils for ward prefixes, and then using Eldritch currency to reroll the suffixes for resistance. That's been going pretty well. So I'm going to work on upgrading my boots and my gloves next, I think. All right, well, let's run a quick map, and I'll show you how the damage is progressing. So now that we have the 6 link, and I actually got a new tree. This one has +1 gems and 0.9 crit chance. Actually, also does have this brittle node, but I haven't gone for that yet, as I'm not 100% sure if that's the direction I want to take the character. But still, just these two, really, really good. Okay. Okay, and turn on RF, and off we go. So I've been doing a fair amount of testing. You can look over there on the side. I've been swapping out gems and skills, trying to figure out which I don't know which setup I'm liking the most. So far, I think this kind of more projectile cold based one is working out nicely. Using Eye of Winter and Creeping Frost, it's kind of just like a great splash AOE around me, while Ice Spear handles the like the off-screen hitting. I'm not 100% sold on Creeping Frost. It kind of does chunk the FPS pretty hard. Just do the extra visuals. Okay. Ooh. I really need to get Cannot to be bled. But as you can see, we phased those bosses pretty quick, so damage is getting up there. Adding in RF did make a pretty big difference, and actually fitting an arc as well for the bigger shocks. I had or I do still have rather, a ring that has the unveiled global fire and lightning damage, just so that that was enabling what's the Sabo node? The Sabo node if I was going to be using pure cold spells. But I was only getting like 5% shocks with this tiny lightning roll. So I decided to add in arc, and now I'm getting much more consistent, 10-15% shocks. So between shock, sniper's mark, and then bone chill, we're getting a pretty significant amount of increased damage taken on the enemy. See, I'm still doing inspiration in both links. I feel like I'm still having some slight mana issues just on startup, but overall, I feel like the build has gotten a lot stronger. Let's see, yeah, I swapped to exposure on gloves rather than having it here on my weapon. This is my old one. I had the +1 spell crit and then cold exposure on hit. I found this one surprisingly cheap. It had the good tree and it was already 6 links, so I just like, what the heck, I'm gonna buy it. It's only 3 divs. Let's see. So, in terms of belts, I'm a little bit obsessed with the synthesized belts. They're not always the best, but I just really like them. So I bought this base the other day, and now I need to craft it. It's kind of a pain to hit both it's a real pain to hit two flask suffixes, and I I had bought this belt, and then I decided, what the heck, why not? It's kind of crappy. Might as well synthesize it, and it managed to hit flask charges gained. Unfortunately, it's only the tier 2 mod. You can see it goes up to 15% here, but this is, still going to be very hard to beat. But eventually, I do want to get one, ideally with the two flask suffixes, and then an open suffix for cooldown reduction. My amulet, still pretty generic. I was weighing my options here. I could craft this with Veiled Chaos, but I don't know if it would get dramatically better. So I think this is going to be something I upgrade a little bit later down the road. Heartbound Loop. There's corrupted implicits that possible to buy here. I've been shopping around, nothing too aggressively. Maybe upgrading to a Lord's or a corrupted skin. I don't know. We'll see. But I think my biggest targets are going to be upgrading my gloves and my boots, and then I don't know, maybe getting a different helmet chant. I'm not sure. Yeah, because there's just so many different options. I mean, I'm finding the hardest thing to figure out on this build is which skills to use. So I don't know. Stay tuned. This is a fun character. I'm gonna be doing some delve, maybe in some Simulacrum content. So stay tuned and see y'all next time.